gathered this afternoon for the graduation of our EMS providers from crisis intervention training here that we held at Bladen County EMS, partnering with Eastpointe. As in, excuse me, many rural areas, behavioral treatment services and resources are not readily available. EMS and law enforcement are the first ones called to mental health crisis out in the community. Bladen County EMS is committed to work with all of our area partners to provide the needed training for our EMS providers to best serve our citizens within our county. Bladen County EMS and Eastpointe partnered together this week to have a crisis intervention training for our providers. The definition of crisis intervention is the methods used to offer immediate, short-term help to individuals who experience an event that produces emotional, mental, physical, or behavioral distress or problems. The CIT training improves our EMS providers' attitude and knowledge about mental illness. The training provided gives the education needed to be more effective in the field to help manage crisis events within the community. Congratulations to all that successfully completed this training. It's been a tough week, but again, congratulations from me. Now I turn everything over to Ms. Teresa Edmondson, Chief of Regulation and Compliance for Eastpointe.
Thank you. Good afternoon. It was a beautiful drive down here. I did have a couple of detours. So boy, I came in pretty quick out there. I came in a little hot out there in the parking lot. But anyhow, I'm delighted to be here. I think that I want to first of all say that Eastpointe has always been so committed to CIT training in all of our counties. I think that we probably lead the state in the number of folks that we have trained per capita, you know, in CIT, and we have a pretty good reputation for what we do. I think we've trained over,
we're approaching 15. It's approaching
1,500, yeah, I thought it was a little more than that, but anyhow, it just speaks to our commitment about CIT training. In Bladen County, we have trained 55 individuals, and now we can add you to that list, so it's going to be 61 now that we have trained in Bladen County. 31 have been from the Sheriff Department, 7 from EMS, prior to you guys, 6 from DPS, and 5 from the Elizabethtown Police Department, and 4 from the Bladen County Detention Center, and then 2 folks from the 911 Center. So we are delighted that we were able to do this week. We know our future with Bladen County is short, perhaps, if everything goes through with the move to Trillium. It was the right thing for us to continue on with this training. We were delighted to do it, and we felt, you know, there was some question about it, but it was no question for us. It was the right thing to do. And at Eastpointe, we'll always try to do the right thing. I want to thank a number of people. The first group of folks I want to thank is, I know that the 5 of you sitting here, somebody had to make coverage, you know, for you to be here. And I know that that is challenging in small departments, in rural departments, and during times of COVID, it's very challenging. So whoever covered for you, we appreciate that coverage and the flexibilities in the schedules that allows you to be in this class. Please go back and thank them, and also you're the best advertisement that we have for CIT. A lot of folks come to the training and they are kind of voluntold to come to the training, but what we find out is that once they get here and once they start taking the training, they do begin to get something out of it. And so we hope that it has put more tools in your toolbox to carry with you as you answer the call to the citizens of Bladen County. The other group that I want to thank is obviously the presenters that came and presented. We have just a great group of folks that volunteer because, again, they share the commitment that we do toward CIT. the role players that come. That's always a little bit intimidating for folks to say, oh, we're gonna do role playing, but it always turns out to be such a great learning experience for folks. I also, every week or every class, I always say, Trish, above all, make sure they learn, but make sure they have a good time. Make sure you feed them good, because that's how you get good evaluation. So I hope she fed you good. And I always say, I hope you had a good time. I always ask, was there a class clown? Because there's always a class clown, somebody who really kind of cut it up and had a good time for the group. Most of the time people start pointing at one another. Y'all are not gonna rat out the class clown, right? Okay, but I hope you enjoyed it, because I know for me, when I'm enjoying something, I learn in an environment where I'm allowed to have a good time and to be relaxed. And I hope we created that for you this week, or these few days that you've been in this training. I want to thank most of all Trish and William. Trish is a dynamo. She is all on this CIT truck. I mean, she's can, you know, do this all at one time. And so we can't thank Trish enough for her dedication, and William, all that he does in Bladen County. He is our community relations person for the counties down in this area, and he's very connected with the folks down here, and we appreciate all that he does. And again, thank you so much to our presenters and the folks that have made this a success.
My name's Strickland. I'm a paramedic with Bladen County. I was one of the ones that was voluntold to be here through the class, that it was mandatory. I got in here and I was just fine with it. Had great instructors, great presenters throughout this whole experience. We've also had activities that really involved us and really got us to the level of some of these people that are in crises that we're going to. And we do know a lot of times when we're called out, it could be the worst day of somebody's life, and we've kind of gotten a deeper dive into just what that could be like for them. We actually had a couple activities, but one of the biggest ones that stuck out with us, we had, it was called Hearing Voices. So we took an iPod and we were listening to voices in our ear the entire time and doing different activities. And by the end of it, I think half of us, we were ready to turn those voices off. We've had a good time with it. We've gained a lot of useful information through this whole process, whether it be mental health or substance abuse or whatever the case may be, that really allowed us to be able to adequately care for these people in other ways than just medically. And I did make William a promise that if anyone needed Eastpointe services, I would have it up here. So if you guys need any help with that, 1-800-913-6109.
That's great. I've never had anybody to do that. That's great. I'm going to ask Heather now. I've tasked her with the job of pinning everybody, because if I drew blood, I wouldn't know what to do. She knows what to do. So we're going to ask you to come up and receive your certificate and your pen. And I'll ask Laura to come up first. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your kind words. All you do for Thank you for being here. Thank you for all you do in your community. In closing, I'd like to say just a couple of things. Number one, for some folks who go through this class, it may open a door for you that you may say, hey, I've got an issue going on. If this has opened up something for you and you feel that you yourself or someone in your family needs help, just call us. You've got, if nothing else, you can talk with her. She's got the number. Or I'd like to thank y'all once again and thank all the folks who supported this class these last few days. And I give you the Bladen County August 2021 EMS graduates, CIT graduates.